Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Spring Convocation 2022. We acknowledge that we gather today on the traditional territory of Treaty 6 and the homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place and reaffirm our relationship with one another. Please stand as you are able for the honor song and the arrival of the Chancellor's Platform Party and our graduates. Thank you very much to our drum group Buffalo Boy Productions for performing today's honor song. Please remain standing as we join our vocalist, Linda Millette, in the singing of O Canada. Please be seated. Once again, graduands, distinguished guests, welcome. My name is Chelsea Wilness. I'm the University Secretary and Chief Governance Officer of the University of Saskatchewan. I have the honor of introducing to you the members of the platform party that you see before you. Beginning with the front row on my left and your right, Russ Eisinger, University Registrar. Patty McDougall, Deputy Provost. Jay Wilson, Vice Provost, Teaching, Learning, and Student Experience. Angela Jaime, Vice Provost, Indigenous Engagement. Roland Duquette, Elder. Irene, Provost and Vice President, Academic. President Peter Stoichev. Chancellor Grit McCreath. Les Henry, today's honorary degree recipient. Angela Bedard-Hahn, Dean, College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Jillian Muir, Dean, Western College of Veterinary Medicine. Debbie Burston, Dean, College of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. Cheryl Hamelin, Vice President, University Relations. In the second row, our orators, Terry Bedard, Kathleen James Cavan, and Jennifer Milburn. Brian Harvey, representing the University of Saskatchewan Retirees Association and recipient of an Honorary Doctor of Science in 2021. Abhinit Goswami, President, University of Saskatchewan Students' Union. Azra Mohammadi, Vice President, External Affairs, Graduate Students Association. Mary Buer, Vice Provost, Faculty Relations. Eric Michaels, Associate Dean Academic, College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Trevor Crow, Associate Dean Research and Graduate Studies, College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Chris Clark, Associate Dean Academic, Western College of Veterinary Medicine. And behind them, and I would ask them to stand, members of the faculty of the University of Saskatchewan. Would you please join me in expressing to all of these faculty, leaders, and members of our governing bodies our thanks for the work they've done, supporting, teaching, and encouraging our graduates.
Good afternoon, everyone. How wonderful it is to be here, all of us together. Eminent Chancellor, graduands and families, honored guests. I thank the many people who are here today to be part of this moment in the University of Saskatchewan's great history. And in particular, I want to acknowledge Elder Roland Duquette, he was introduced to you a moment ago. He is on stage for every single one of our convocation ceremonies, has been for many years. I and all of us owe him a debt of gratitude, and I'd ask that students, if you'd like, please acknowledge him when you come up onto the stage. And the Buffalo Boys drum group, who play that wonderful honors song on behalf of all of the graduands today, and honorary degree recipient Les Henry, from whom we will hear shortly. I also acknowledge the many faculty on the stage who are the core of the university. They've been leaders and mentors to so many of you who will graduate today. And I want to give a big shout out to all of the supporters of the graduands here today, up and down the sides of our venue, family, friends, high school teachers, supporters of all kinds, because none of us achieve something this big without a lot of help along the way. I want to acknowledge that we're on Treaty 6 territory in the traditional homeland of the Métis, and we pay our respects to our First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place, and we reaffirm daily our wonderful relationships with one another. Everyone among our university community, and that's about 30,000 people, contributed to getting us safely through the worst of the pandemic so far. And everyone contributed to ensuring this great university continued its exceptional research and teaching, despite the many challenges that we all faced, and most importantly, that we faced together. We're hopefully at the point of return, but we're also at the point of no return, because we've learned a lot from the pandemic experience, and that's going to change this university in important ways, and it'll help us to help the world be a better place. I want to thank, in particular, all the students who are here today who have endured the pandemic situation patiently, resiliently, and gratefully. And it paid off, because here you are celebrating a milestone in your lives. Your hard work and perseverance have brought us together. It's why we're all here. Everyone acknowledges and thanks you for that. We're also here because a university like this one is a wonderful thing, and it's brought us together. It's crucial to the ongoing conversation we call democracy. We're so fortunate to live in Canada and to have the freedoms that we have. Given the world we're in now, where it's difficult to separate out what's true and what's not true, where our future depends on knowledge and the correct use of it, where research holds the key to our greatest challenges, where not only free speech but informed speech are critical to our humanity, universities are needed more than they have ever been, and the University of Saskatchewan is needed more than it has ever been. It's why we say we govern ourselves not only on the basis of what we want to be, but what the world needs us to be. What all of you crossing this stage today, strengthened with a University of Saskatchewan degree, go on to do in your lives will matter immensely to our collective future. And I ask you to think about this. It's a great privilege to have a university education, and with that privilege comes great responsibility. Not everybody gets to be where you are today. If you don't make the world a better place, who's going to do it? We need you to be thoughtful, educated, and humane leaders, because our world now depends on it. Some of the country's most formative political leaders got their degrees here. Not only a prime minister, but 9 Canadian premiers graduated from here. Many lieutenant governors, not only of this province, but of many provinces in this country. Many Canadian ambassadors to countries from all around the world. We need all of you to become groundbreaking researchers who change how we understand our world. Many who have gone on to do that graduated from here, and people who wanted to do that have come here because we provided a great place to do it. An example of that is Gerhard Hertzberg, who was offered a position here in 1935 by our first president, Walter Murray, so that Herzberg could escape Nazi Germany, when no other university on this continent offered him a position. Herzberg won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry just over 50 years ago for the work that he did while he was a faculty member here. We need you to help find cures for the many health challenges we face. People at this university have done that. We're the home of the cobalt-60 radiation therapy that revolutionized cancer treatment in 1951 and saved the lives of millions of cancer patients around the world. Former Chancellor and Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Fedoruk worked on it when she was a student here. The casing for it was made by the small Acme Machine and Electric Company just a couple of miles from here on Idlewild Drive. It's a great Saskatoon and Saskatchewan story. Many thousands of patients were treated here successfully over the next 20 years until it was replaced with newer technology. At our synchrotron, the only one in Canada, we've pioneered how to produce medical isotopes without using a nuclear reactor. And our cyclotron now provides medical isotopes to RUH instead of bringing them in from elsewhere. A fitting homage to that cobalt-60 work done here over half a century ago. We need every one of you to help ensure peace, ensuring that democracy prevails, fragile and embattled as it can be. We need all of you out there on the front lines of that one, to fight for the most important freedoms that the invasion of Ukraine proves cannot be taken for granted, and to do this by understanding the difference between truth and its imposters. That's what a university education can do for all of us. We need you to continue the work being done at this university on how to provide food to the world's rapidly growing population. In order to meet the world's food needs, agricultural productivity will need to almost double. Our College of Agriculture and Bioresources is helping do just that and has been doing that for decades, as has our Crop Development Center that recently celebrated its 50th anniversary. The economic impact for this province in these University of Saskatchewan areas of agricultural excellence alone is in the neighborhood of $40 billion. We've added to that economic impact in many ways, including by developing the varieties of crops that make this province and country the export powerhouse that they are. The Western College of Veterinary Medicine's commitment to graduating specialists in private practice, public service, research, academics, and industry has never been more needed. On the research side, the majority of viruses that threaten human health come from animals. We saw that with the current pandemic. The work our Vito lab does in producing a vaccine is founded on the work it does with our veterinary scientists. They'll be key to this world's future health. Add to that the college's public extension work, its clinical and diagnostic services, and its continuing education for veterinarians, and you've got a powerhouse of a college with a dramatic and timely impact. A degree in agriculture and bioresources and a degree in veterinary medicine are powerful degrees. You hold them in your hands, and we're all grateful. If there ever was a time when this province and this country need you all as we move into a new world of pandemic preparedness, it's right now, so that you can help us to lead public opinion, not to just follow it. We need all of you to help ensure the world does not suffer from another pandemic. Science has done what was asked of it, to create vaccines in less than a year, and that's the culmination of a lot of sacrifice and a lot of hard work and decades of basic research. And our Vito and veterinary researchers have played a big role in that. But there's actually a role for everyone, every graduate from this university, not only scientists, to prevent the next one. If the pandemic is revealing anything, it is that humanity's healthy future depends on evidence and data-based scientific truths being widely circulated and understood. High infection and mortality rates are a direct result of widespread misunderstanding, misinformation, skepticism of information, and a politicized rejection of scientific truths. This university has accepted the challenge of combating all of that in so many ways, And we need all of you to continue to accept that challenge as you move beyond the university with your degree in hand. The University of Saskatchewan degree you've worked hard to receive today has tremendous value. Many employers tell me that when they see an application from a University of Saskatchewan graduate, it gets special attention because the quality of the university is so high, because of its graduates' work ethic that's part of our prairie roots, and because you're problem solvers. And we need you to solve problems we can't even imagine today. I said that at a convocation 2.5 years ago when the pandemic wasn't even on our radar. We need you to solve problems we can't even imagine today. Saskatchewan's future will depend on it. The world's future is going to depend on it. This underscores the critical importance of investing in higher education and the fact that we are a crucial part of this province's future success. We're in a province with the natural resources that are second to none in this country, with almost half of Canada's field crop land, 30% of the world's potash supplies at a time when the world needs food, the highest grade uranium in the world when we need clean energy, more than 10% of the world's rare earth minerals, vast tracts of forest, fresh water, huge strength in oil and gas. How to be innovative and sustainable and responsible with these natural resources for the benefit of all, that's maybe Saskatchewan's greatest challenge. As one of Canada's top-ranked research universities, the University of Saskatchewan ensures this province stays ahead of the innovation curve. Without our kind of research and teaching, there is little innovation, and without innovation, we have a diminished future. So now, more than ever, we all need people with degrees like yours, from a university like yours, to help build a more sustainable world, a more equitable world, a healthier world, a world with the courage to embrace diversity and togetherness simultaneously. And I'm proud that we now have students from over 130 countries attending the University of Saskatchewan, and many of those countries are represented by graduates here today. The world also needs us to be a university that responds to the work of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and I'm grateful that this university is seen in this country as a participant, not a bystander, in building reconciliation. We're at a time when the country faces the greatest cultural opportunity of its history. Being the university the world needs today means committing to reconciliation. Canada's future depends on our Indigenous youth making this world a better place in ways only they know how. It will take a strategic mixture of patience and impatience, and it's going to take time. It will take a strategic mixture of impatience and patience, and it's going to take time. But as our first president, Walter Murray, wrote to a friend in 1908 when he was traveling by train to begin his position here, we are building for centuries. The University of Saskatchewan is a great experiment in human culture, a place where we learn to be humble servants of a democratic society while being respectful critics of it. None of you know exactly where you're headed, and that's okay. Take the journey, take the risks, find the passion, make a positive difference to a world that really needs you now. It's a great privilege to have a university education, and with that privilege comes great responsibility. If people like all of you don't make the world a better place, who's going to do it? We know you will do it. Thank you in advance on behalf of everyone here for taking up this tremendous and timely challenge, and I congratulate you on today's milestone in your lives. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Just a reminder, in case you didn't catch all the names on the first go-round, I'm Angela Bedard-Hahn, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Eminent Chancellor, On behalf of the Senate, I present to you James Les Henry. Les is an award-winning soil scientist who has enjoyed a career as a pioneering agriculture researcher and extension specialist who brought research to the farm gate. He is a proud alumnus of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, where he earned both his Bachelor of Science in Agriculture and his Master's in Soil Science. His research projects, driven by questions from the farm, have included anhydrous ammonia effect on soils, nutrient requirements of irrigated crops, potassium-deficient soils, and quite famously, his work on soil salinity. Les has always had a knack for understanding new research, seeing where it can be applied, and making it understood and accessible to many. Les has shown how applied research can help people here in Saskatchewan, and as President Stoichev just spoke to, the importance of how the research that's done here in Saskatchewan can have an impact right around the world. Les holds the status Professor Emeritus within Ag Bio after having done 27 years of teaching and guiding students within the college. Les always connected easily with students who appreciated his practical, no-nonsense approach and his thought-provoking discussions. He was so popular with students that he was acknowledged with the award of Honorary President of the Ag Students Association in 1979-80 and Professor of the Year in 1989. Les continues to share his knowledge with students, and just last week he spoke to our soil science grad students as part of a fireside chat that we had. And he told those students that instead of seeing their education as a to-do list, a series of things to check off, finish your thesis, get that funding, etc., they should instead start with a problem. What is a big problem that the world needs solved? Because if you're not helping the world, what are you really doing? It's wise advice and demonstrates the kind of wisdom Les has accumulated and freely shared over the years. Les's many contributions to soil science epitomize Ag Bio's mission to advance the responsible use of bioresources and enhance quality of life. Today, we are honored to hear from Les and to pay tribute to him. Eminent Chancellor, I present James Les Henry and ask that you confer on him the Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of the province and with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and invest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. And I'm just going to give this to you.
Chancellor McCreath, President Stoichev, Dean Bedard Hahn, Dean Muir, faculty that are present with us, and graduates of Ag Bio and Veterinary Medicine. Let me first thank the University of Saskatchewan for this huge honor. Very overwhelming and humbling for a plain old dirt farmer like me, but very much appreciated. Congratulations to the graduates who have persevered through unusual times that none of us could have imagined would even happen, and you've come out the other end. I'll start by telling you a little bit about my journey. I graduated with a basic Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Soil Science option in 1964. Jobs were good then, and I had good grades, so I had lots of offers. I was about to go to Barrhead, Alberta, and be a district agriculturalist for the provincial government of Alberta. Les Hutchin was head of the soil science department. He called me into the office and he said, you know, we can match you what they're going to pay there. You'll get a master's degree. It'll open some doors. It'll take you a little longer. In the summertime, you'll have to spend your time on soil survey, and in the winter, you'll need to chase the diploma students around the laboratory. So that's what I did. And my lesson here for students, graduates, as you go out in the world, if an opportunity arises, grab it. My academic appointment that eventually came, and some years later, was 50% extension. In those days, the university had an campus-wide extension division, and a number of us in agriculture and at the college level for vet medicine were joint appointments with extension. Half our salary came from extension. So I had to take it seriously. All of the research projects that I did were based on questions that we couldn't answer in the Plunkett Hall or somewhere else. We'd come home and look in the library. If the answer wasn't there, it was time for research. Before I go, I'd like to know who I'm talking to. So we'll take all of the groups together. I'll have to get my glasses adjusted here. I want to know some things about you. How many were raised in Saskatchewan? Put your arms in the air. That's good enough. How many in Alberta or Manitoba? How many somewhere in the rest of Canada? How many for someplace in the rest of the world? Few. Good for you, all over. So of those from the three prairie provinces, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Manitoba, how many were raised on a farm or a ranch? Half or more. Okay, thank you. For you graduates today, I've got one message, and just one message. And it's lifelong learning. You have taken your classes, listened to your profs, used various online resources to learn all sorts of theories and practices. But you need to think that you don't need to think that when you step out of here that the learning ends. You're both in professional colleges, so you'll be out doing your profession. Anytime you think you know it all, it's time to hang up your soil probe or your scalpel. So this lifelong learning is my theme, and I'll do it under the heading Learn, Unlearn, and Relearn. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I credit that expression to one Elston Solberg, a agrologist of great knowledge in Alberta with decades of experience in both the public and private sectors. That's my first lesson to you. If you get a good idea from someplace else, make sure you credit where it comes from. Don't take credit for something you didn't think up. So to get across the message of lifetime learning, I'm going to take two examples from my journey. Soils that we walk on and that feeds us all can be a complex beast. I guess maybe what I was known for was the capability to take some of these complex concepts and put them in terms that lay people could understand. Truth be told, I had to put it in something simple so I could understand it myself. And that's the truth. So we're going to deal with soil fertility, and we'll start with one particular nutrient. There's many nutrients you need to grow a crop, but potassium is one, and potash. Potash is no stranger to Saskatchewan. About a kilometer down, anywhere from this area in Saskatoon to the Manitoba border, all down the Yellowhead Highway, are potash deposits that are as great as any in the world, and it's a very significant part of our economy. But the irony was that our soils had enough, so we didn't need to use our own potash, or so we thought. The science was settled. 1966, along came the Saskatchewan Soil Testing Laboratory. Ed Halstead was the first director. At that time, Les Henry was the field person that made the soil fertility program happen, but Ed Halstead was setting up the lab. So he said he's going to run all three major nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. I said, Ed, why are we running potassium? We've got filing cabinets full of data that say we don't need it. We'll do it anyhow. That very first year, there were thousands and thousands, there was pent-up demand, so there was thousands and thousands of samples. I can show you pictures of rooms full of soil test boxes. The lab was just run off its feet. So we had samples from all over the place. Lo and behold, in northeast Saskatchewan, in the Carrot River area, were soils that were as potassium deficient as any in the world. So Ed designed a simple little field test experiment, half-mile strips down a field with a little bit, a medium, and a whole lot. And forever etched in my mind is a day in 1967 when the summer student and I drove a light green colored Chevrolet. I remember it. That's one of those big tanks of the gas guzzlers of the 60s that had a huge gas tank. You could fill it for $5. And we drove up to the plot. The student was driving, and I look off to the right, and here we are. You could see it from the moon. Potash had made a 5-fold increase in barley on that particular field because we're in the right place. So the rest is history. We went on to do many experiments on potash. In fact, when I retired many years ago now, there was still a little pocket of money left over from the potash research. The account was named that. So we did lots of work on potash and filled in the blanks. So that's my first example. The second example is phosphorus. When my grandfather and your great-grandfathers broke this rich prairie soil, all they had to do was put a little seed in the ground, stand back, come with a thrashing machine, and take huge yields. Farmers in the early days were rich. But the first nutrient to go deficient was phosphorus, and this is by about the 40s or 50s. And the soil science department was always known for doing the work where the problems are. So there were simple strip tests all over the province. Bob McCurchy was here, was one of the chief amongst this. And we quickly found that the best way to do it was we found the best fertilizer to use, and the best way to put it was a little dab with the seed. Some fundamental research at that time was, again, the university was a world leader, and the soils department was a world leader, and the Department of Chemistry. John Spinks and Don Rennie were two of the main works. Used radioactive P32 tracer to find out of the fertilizer, of the phosphorus in the fertilizer, how much ends up in the wheat. And it was something like 25 or 30%. So that wasn't very good. I remember going home to Milton about that time, and people were saying, well, what happens to the rest of it? Blah, 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 blah. You know, there wasn't a very good answer. Phosphorus doesn't gas off, it doesn't wash out, so it's still there. Is it any good? Well, no. Or so we thought. In the 1970s, doing work in the irrigation area at Outlook with the very first canola variety, we had a plot where we grew a huge yield of canola, 68 bushels per acre. Farmers haul their wheat off in trucks that have 140 tons, but it came off a field that yielded 50 bushels an acre. That's staged the farm, and it will for a long time. So we grew this great big yield with a whole lot of water, a whole lot of nitrogen, and not much phosphorus. So I concluded from that, canola doesn't need much phosphorus. Wrong again. In about the 1990s, one Reynaud Lemke from Swift Current Research Station took some long-term experiments that were started by two people that got their PhD here in soil science and went in the 1960s to Swift Current. And they'd done these simple experiments and continued the same simple experiments for 30 years. He took a simple arithmetic approach and looked at all the extra phosphorus that would be hauled off to the elevator and how much was put in fertilizer. On that basis, phosphorus fertilizer is 98% efficient. And what we now know is that the reason we grew such a big crop with so little phosphorus with canola is that the canola root structure and chemistry is different, and it can suck harder on the soil supply. So this brought a whole new way of looking at phosphorus fertilizer. And we basically raised the yield plateau. And some of the real high yielders now are recognizing that if your soil is low in phosphorus, you have to build it up and not build it up. A little dab won't do you anymore. You have to do it up. So those are two examples of where we thought we knew everything. The science was settled, but it wasn't. So for the graduates, I urge you to keep an open mind, be curious, follow the data. Don't be afraid to challenge norms. Just because 77 other people say it's right doesn't mean it's right. Don't be afraid to challenge some norms. You have now your degree, and to put it in the words my father did when I graduated, you have the world by the tail with a downhill pull. Find something to do that you can have passion about and never stop learning. So that's my message to you, never stop learning. There's always learning to do. In today's world, it's never been easy. In closing, I want to again give thanks to the University of Saskatchewan for this huge honor that's greatly overwhelming. When I first got the email from Chelsea, I thought it was a joke. So I had to read it 3 or 4 times because there's a lot of stuff floats around, And thank you very much. And I wish the graduates a happy and rewarding career and never stop learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Henry. I promise I was quite serious. Eminent Chancellor, President Stoichev, members of the University Senate and Board of Governors, I present to you the petition of the Council of this university that the candidates to be named, having fulfilled all the requirements of the bylaws, may, with your permission, be admitted to the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which they are entitled.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of the council of this university, I consent to admit you to the degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which you are entitled, and to vest you with all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Would the graduates in the front row please rise and approach the platform? As you make your way forward, I'll let you know how the conferring of degrees will unfold. As you enter the stage, please stop and face the audience, as the hood will be placed over your shoulders. You may remove your mask if you wish. Once you've been hooded, proceed to the first podium, where the orator will be presenting each of you by name. Once your name has been announced, proceed to be greeted by the President and the Chancellor. And this next thing is the most important part. Make sure you stop in front of the Chancellor, because this is how you officially graduate. The Chancellor admits you to the Convocation of the University of Saskatchewan. For health reasons, unfortunately, today there'll be no handshaking, but you will continue across the platform to be greeted by the Dean or Associate Dean of your college and to receive your parchment from them. A photo will be taken prior to exiting the stage, and a photographer will also be backstage and will take your photo again before you return to your seat.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you this scholar and ask that you confer on her the Kanawehi Tetan Uski, Let Us Take Care of the Land certificate. I present to you Natasha Youngchief. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the Diploma in Agribusiness. I present to you Jonathan Gregory Goodinger, with great distinction. Leanne Kotlak. Haley Tia Lang, with distinction. Brandy Marie Lazinski. Taylor John Sawatsky. Shelby Lynn Wakefield, with distinction. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the Diploma in Agronomy. I present to you Levi Jacob Jones. Shannon Anna Eggerbrink. Ryan Samuel Potts. Parker Travis Sturby. Cole Martin Wookner, with great distinction. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Animal Bioscience. I present to you Michaela Jean Alice Bouvier, with distinction. Reese Chantal Bradley, with distinction. Hannah Marie Burlett, with distinction. Manhuen Chow. Carmen Christina Cole, with great distinction. Catherine A. Kuhl, with great distinction. Shyla Dawn Drieger, with distinction. Annette Isabel Godet, with distinction. Nikisha D. Halleck. Tansley Rose Hayes. Sarah Elizabeth Ibach. Christina Susan James, with great distinction. Jessica Diana Kotelnikoff, with great distinction. Kira Jade Leon McKelsey, with distinction. Bailey Rondal Munson, with distinction. Paige Marie Nowell. Brianne Olson, with great distinction. Ella Parcels, with great distinction. Amanda Gail Pollock, with distinction. Kensington Renneberg, with great distinction. Tanner Wright Stevens, with distinction. Jiyoung Hannah Lee Ulmer, with great distinction. Chase McLeod Unger. Shelby Lynn Vollen. Sarah Julianne Wassel, with great distinction. Victoria Yvonne Windrum, with distinction.
I'll now present Ashley Cullum's Bachelor of Science degree to her family, and I would like to thank them for joining us here today. Ashley was a student in the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, majoring in animal bioscience. She sadly passed away in January of this year. Ashley's family shared with the college a passage to describe Ashley, which I will now share with all of you. Ashley Cullum carried the universe on her shoulders and now is wearing it like a pair of wings. She was a brilliant young woman and was very dedicated to her studies. Ashley's perseverance helped her get through the toughest of challenges. Her strong work ethic was demonstrated through both her studies and with her work on the farm. She had a love for animals that started at a very young age, and this love for animals helped her get through even the toughest of days. Ashley was beautiful, courageous, and witty. Her smile would light up the room. And if Ashley were here today, she would be very honored to stand with all of you. We are very proud of all of Ashley's accomplishments, as you all should be proud of yours. Now, Ashley's family encourages all of you, her fellow graduates, to have integrity, courage, follow your instincts and curiosity, be bold, and take risks, but above all, enjoy what you do each day. And here to accept Bachelor of Science in Animal Bioscience is her family, her father Tim, brother Austin, and mother Denise.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness. I present to you Matea Chelsea Becker, with distinction. Ryan Richard Bell, with distinction. Noah James Bishop, with great distinction. Hayden Reese Brandt, with distinction. Evan Alois Ellis Bronner, with great distinction. Judson Michael Christofferson, with great distinction. Danielle Monique Clavel, with distinction. Courtney Jane Fight. Anne Germain, with great distinction. Jessica Courtney Goodridge, with great distinction. Eric Bryden Hanmer. Taryn Andrew Holzer. Josie Lynn Justine Huber, with great distinction. Coleman Bradley Kettenbach, with great distinction. Deanna Kitzel. James Michael Lenore. Emily W.J. Latondre. Cameron Austin Mitchell, with distinction. Jory Jason Duane Ratcliffe. Megan Grace Ron. Olivia Grace Sauer. Michael Vincent Schick. Noah George Schwartz. Wyatt Lucas Sloboshin. Megan Elizabeth Stocky. Tana Ray Thiessen. Kennedy Dawn Ward, with distinction. Tristan Todd Warwick, with distinction. Mariah Nicola Winnie, with distinction. Chaojin Young. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Renewable Resource Management. I present to you Sydney Ray Kupenbender. Hillary Marie Kipling. Stephanie Kristen Lecourtois. Grace Sienna Rush. Abby Madison Sokol, with distinction. Maria Zunti, with distinction. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. I present to you Wyatt David Arms. Jaden Leon Baudouin, with distinction. Bria Emily Bentley, with distinction. Natalia Alexandria Bedolka, with distinction. Morgan Violet Bullerwell. Chloe Mackenzie Canning, with great distinction. Kennedy Marie Chufu, with great distinction. Rachel Grace Christensen, with great distinction. Amelia Carla Clements. Mitchell Marcel Clermont. Kate Mimnat Cobb, with great distinction. Emma Lillian Mary Cross, with great distinction.
Blake Allen Dempsey, with great distinction. Megan Michaela Dubois, with great distinction. Thomas Harold Leon Edsvik. Ashley Miranda Esterby. Caitlin Rose Fair, with distinction. Farah Dawson Fisher, with great distinction. Mackenzie Page Fleck. Ali McKenna Garand. There. Brooke Felicity Gerard. Laura Ashley Gillen, with distinction. Emily Gingrich, with distinction. Catherine May Hart, with great distinction. Carly Brianne Hartman. Nigel Alexandra Hobrick, with great distinction. Braylene Joe Heck. Gavin Bailey Daw Hodder. Jessamine Autumn Huryanuk. Kelly Ann Huryanuk, with distinction. Coralie Catherine Huber. Anya Marie Illingworth, with distinction. Sarah Ann Ingle. Logan Tate Jacobson. Taylor Lene Johnston, with distinction. Wen Can. You can go. Nicholas Gregory Keenan, with distinction. Erin Aurora Carrick, with distinction. Ryder Ethan Kint. Bailey Thomas King, with great distinction. Leah Joy Kozrowski. Trevor Kretzer. Jill Laurie Kruger, with great distinction. Jocelyn Ray Lytle, with great distinction. Karina Lydia Grace Lenko, with great distinction. Laura Isabel McMillan. Riku Makio. Taylor Marie Marquardt. Rochelle Marie McCannell, with great distinction. Erica Lynn Moore. Colin Matthew Miller, with distinction. Talissa Ashley Muntz. Zachary Nakonechny, with distinction. Adam Bradley Pauls. Emily Pearson, with great distinction. Josie Danae Pugh, with distinction. Madison Page Rack. Stephen Andrew Redlick. Andrea Renwick. Leah Richard, with distinction. Shelby Marie Robinson. Victoria Faith Romanovich, with distinction. Brett Marie Rumpel. Jordan Rachelle Salmons, with great distinction. Emma Schaefer. Lauren Taylor Schick. Caroline Jane Fowler Sedlick, with distinction. Eric Reed Skoronsky. Dallin Glenn Richard Smith. Parker Smith, with distinction. Brendan Gunnar Matthew Spilchuk. Lyndon Soon. Kiana Bree Swanson. Cassandra Mabel Irene Thorpe. Ty Mackenzie Tremere, with great distinction. Troy Porter Treslin. Emma Marie van Stekelenburg. Catherine Veronica Weckerlin, with great distinction. Aislu Wang. Skylie Woodley. Ziki Shia. Caitlin Ann Young, with great distinction. Marissa Zur. Andrea Gwynn Zielinski. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Honors. I present to you Kinga Margel Nolan, with honors and great distinction. Sarahi Lenore Vizcara Arayeño, with honors and great distinction. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the College of Agriculture and Bioresources and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Agriculture. I present to you Ilimona Kenneth Arkpa. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars from the College of Agriculture and Bioresources and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Stephen Olajide Awodele. Ifeowalo Deborah Ayanwale. Amanda Brianne Fedorchuk. Taryn Lyle Heidecker. Chengu Lee. Alessandra Michelina Rocha Castelo Branco de Oliveira. Olivia Ortsri. Dylan Matthew Shirley.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the Western College of Veterinary Medicine, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. I present to you Brandy Jean Backen, Sarah Nicole Barnsley, Mackenzie Zeta Alexandra Blanford, Jocelyn Chantel Shalifor, Ace Cheng, Olivia Nicole Fung Chakotzi, Tim Anthony Cloutier, Raylyn May Arcelia Combate, Kylie Nicole Macaulay Cousins, Taylor Elise Davies, Blossom De Bruin, Aneki Brooke De Koenig with distinction, Caitlin Denroche, Caleb Dean Dibbett with distinction, Chantel Dunlop, Tiandra Robin Courtney Iwanchuk, Megan Anita Marie Forster, Erica Ann Fox with great distinction, Alana Marie Friedland, Alyssa May Fraze, Carmen Michelle Roland Gerard, with great distinction. Angela Barbara Grob. Abigail Lee Haney. Alexandria Mackenzie Hamstra. Cameron Mariner Painter Hughes. Catherine Elaine Illing, with distinction. Mohammed Momin Iqbal, with distinction. Christopher Ross Jeremy. Alina Callum Karova, with great distinction. Ashlyn Jeanette Ketterer. Robert Alexander Kenneth King. Carrie Kondratovich. Angel Amy Lalonde. Geneva Nicole Letting. Taylor Susan Lesmeister. Emily Lynn Lewin, with great distinction. Teresa Catherine McAlpine, with distinction. Megan Suzanne Meardy. Velina Borisova Milkova. David Scott Moore. Jude Sally Morton. Brianna Patton with distinction. Davlin Carly Pedrick. Brenna Jane Paikawi. Justin Tyler Plettle. Svetlana Elise Ponson. Luke Everest Pura. Olivia Morgan Rad. Katie Lee Radcliffe. Rebecca Reed. Matthew Taylor Fraser Rempel. Jocelyn Ellen Reynolds. Megan Elizabeth Rusnak, with great distinction. Delaney Schofer, with distinction. Christy Akila Schroeder, with great distinction. Jessica Lynn Seaford. Colin Smith, with distinction. Isabel Stam. Marianne Victoria Darlene Stintick. Samantha Marie Tate, with distinction. Amy Elizabeth Taylor. Sarah Deborah Thomas. Natasha Tripp, with distinction. Emily Tung. Emily Jane Vossler, with distinction. Stephanie Lynn Wakefield. Victoria Rachel Wallace, with distinction. Zoe Elizabeth Walter, with distinction. Anna Lila Wilkins, with distinction. Haley Brooke Wisniewski. Matthew John Woodman. Natalia Rebecca Wishnilak. Ashley Rose Moat. Ladies and gentlemen, it is customary at the University of Saskatchewan that after being admitted to their degree, our PhD graduates will be met by their supervisor and escorted to join the platform party in a symbolic welcome to a global community of scholars. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Alper James Garcia Alcaraz. Khaldoon Ali Ali. Hamza Abdul Salam Hussein Al-Mamari. Hirbad Harani. Gui Bu. Tomohiro Hamawaka. Ghazali Isa. Kunal Kumar Sasikant Kadia. Omid Marazi. Yingxing Wang. Miranda Lynn Zwiefelhofer. Please join me in congratulating these graduates on their certificates, diplomas, and degrees.
Eminent Chancellor, in the name of the faculties, I ask you to grant the degrees, diplomas, and certificates in absentia to those students who have met the requirements to graduate but were not able to be present today.
At the request of the faculties I authorize these degrees, diplomas, and certificates to be granted.
It's me again. So it is now my great pleasure to announce the 2022 Saskatchewan Institute of Agrologists Gold Medal for the most outstanding graduate from a degree program in the College of Agriculture and Bioresources. The Gold Medal Prize began in 1959 with the Saskatchewan Institute of Agrologists committing to recognize outstanding performance by a degree student, like this one, in our college, and to promote and sustain the profession of agrology. Over the years, both the profession and the value of the prize have grown significantly. This year's recipient of the SIA Gold Medal is Emma Cross. So this is the part where I start talking about her, and she has to stand there and listen to me say nice things. But today, Emma has received her Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in Animal Science. She is graduating with great distinction with a cumulative program average of 96.8%. So, spoiler alert, this is not the last time you'll be hearing about Emma this afternoon. Emma is an exemplary student with an outstanding commitment to academic achievement, obviously, but also extracurriculars, research, community, and agriculture advocacy, which is also referred to as agvocacy. You got it? Agvocacy? Everybody should be using that by the time they walk out the door here. So she's from Tofield, Alberta, and throughout her degree, she has balanced her academic studies with community service and advocacy. Emma's advocacy work has included being a presenter for the organization Agriculture in the Classroom Saskatchewan, where she shared her experience and expertise with elementary school students. She also led advocacy mentoring sessions for her fellow Ag Bio students, among many other activities. And she has been doing and will continue to be doing communications work with cattle organizations to enhance public trust in Canadian beef production and increase awareness of how cattle are raised. In her spare time, apparently, Emma also held numerous student leadership positions, including being the Ag Bio student representative on both University Students' Council and University Council. Now, Emma's future plans include expanding her business, Sundance Herefords, on her ranch in Alberta. Emma states that while she is passionate about advocacy and loves the communications work she does, she is a rancher to her core, and feels that this part of her identity drives what she does in every aspect of her life. She says that she could not work as effectively as she does in advocacy or extension without being a producer herself to truly understand and empower the industry. Emma, the future of agriculture is bright with you in it. And we know this is not the last we'll hear of your accomplishments, or the last time we'll be crossing paths. Congratulations, Emma.
So I'm Gillian Muir, the Dean of the Western College of Veterinary Medicine. Eminent Chancellor, it is my pleasure to introduce our 2022 Veterinary Medicine Gold Medalist, Dr. Megan Rusnak. Now, Megan has to stand here, embarrassingly, while I say good things about her. The Western College of Veterinary Medicine Faculty Gold Medal is the college's highest honor for Doctor of Veterinary Medicine students. WCVM faculty members award this medal to the graduating student who has shown the highest proficiency in the science and art of veterinary medicine during the four-year program. Megan grew up on a grain farm in Viking, Alberta, and has always been passionate about all types of animals. Through veterinary medicine, she found the ideal way to combine her great love of animals with her interest in science. Megan completed 2 years of a Bachelor of Science degree in Animal Health at the University of Alberta before attending the WCVM. After graduation, Megan will practice as a mixed animal veterinarian at the Edson Veterinary Clinic in West Central Alberta. Megan is excited to return to a rural community in her home province. She's always been interested in sports, and she's looking forward to living closer to the mountains and spending some time outdoors. Megan graduates from the WCVM with great distinction. On behalf of the faculty of the Western College of Veterinary Medicine, I am honored to present our gold medalist, Dr. Megan Rusnak.
Eminent Chancellor, President Elder Duquette, colleagues, friends. Good afternoon, everyone. Bonjour, tansei, tansi. As Provost and Vice President Academic, I am delighted to, again, present Emma Cross, nominee for the Governor-General's Silver Medal. The Governor-General's Silver Medal is the highest academic honour presented at a Canadian university. It is presented to the undergraduate students with the highest cumulatively weighted average during their degree. On behalf of the Governor-General, I am pleased to introduce again Emma Cross. As we know, Emma is graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture with a major in Animal Science. And as we know, she has an extraordinary graduating average. We also now can know that she has no course mark over the 4 years, less than 91%. And in 8 of these courses, she achieved a final course mark of 100%. Some fans here. In addition to her coursework, we've been hearing about how Emma's been extremely active as a volunteer and in numerous clubs and service. This, first of all, to her university. She was Ag Bio student representative on both the University Students' Council and the University Council, and a councillor with the Agriculture and Bioresources Students' Association. In the initial years of her undergraduate program, Emma also volunteered with several ongoing research projects, after which she transitioned to a student research assistant. We know a little bit already about how outside the university, Emma has been involved in volunteer activities, and I've learned a new word today about that. And this has been happening at provincial and national levels. In addition to those described before, Emma has been volunteering with the Canadian Junior Hereford Association, and that included organising annual events and serving as a mentor to young participants. Emma really has been an amazing ambassador for the industry and has represented the university tremendously. Emma's capstone thesis was about enteric methane emissions by beef cattle. Her thesis supervisor, Dr. Greg Penner, said Emma's thesis was truly a critical review and covered strategies to measure methane production, appropriate metrics when reporting on the methane production intensity, and strategies to mitigate methane production. Her thesis justified why enteric methane emissions warranted focus. Her supervisor also said Emma was truly a pleasure to work with, and her thesis was the best I have seen in 12 years, and that's over 60 thesis students. I am sure, said her supervisor, we will see Emma make waves in the Canadian beef industry and will be one to watch as she advances her professional career. So Emma, we know, grew up on a cattle operation in southern Alberta and now owns and operates her own herd of pure breed Herefords in Tofield, Alberta, under the name of Sundance Herefords. Her passion firmly lies in the beef industry, and she fully intends to continue operating and improving her pure breed operation while expanding her program to include crossbreeding and to adapt her management practices to remain an environmentally, socially, and economically sustainable operation. We can anticipate hearing about Emma honing her rotational grazing program and investigating different forage varieties. So alongside being a rancher, Emma's goal is to work in the field of agricultural advocacy and producer extension, including at national levels. She is already taking steps towards this goal, having taken on 2 positions with the Canadian Cattlemen's Association Public and Stakeholder Engagement Division and Verified Beef Production Plus. Please join me in congratulating Emma Cross, the recipient of the Governor-General's Silver Medal.
So today you receive your degree from the University of Saskatchewan. You have earned it. Every time you look at that parchment, it will serve as a reminder of the countless hours that you dedicated toward receiving it. It's a culmination of your years of hard work, all of which prepares you for a lifetime of success. Congratulations. With degree in hand, you join our ever-growing alumni family, more than 165,000 USask graduates around the world. The following video shows you where a degree from USask can take you.
Congratulations from USask alumni.
Means a Kodinoy Makanak, Katipinishik Nation Nikas, Cody First Nation Donchi. My name is Judy Pelly. I come from Cody First Nation. I'm a Anishinaabe. I'm a Soto. I am also an alumni of the university. We all stuck together through all this surreal time in our lives. And we can go on. We can go on and see a better tomorrow, be a better tomorrow for us. And with that, again, Chimegwich, hi. Thank you.
You are now part of our growing alumni family. We are proud to welcome you as one of our own. When you started this journey, you didn't know all the challenges you would face. You've proven to yourself and all those in your corner that you are resilient. Congratulations on beginning this next chapter. You now belong to a community of more than 165,000 alumni. The following reflections from some of our many distinguished alumni show the ways in which they continue to carry the University of Saskatchewan with them throughout their lives.
I've seen academia as a fundamental base, but a platform to do other things that I have been interested in and passionate about. And I've been lucky enough that, I've been able to do that.
Upon completing my 2 degrees from the university, I went a different direction. I went into business, and I've been self-employed ever since.
Those interactions helped me. These interactions, these opportunities helped me to create the path where I am right now.
I love being around young people. I love their energy. They're kind of like just starting out, and they've got this whole life ahead of them.
You are always welcome here. Let's create a brighter future together. Today, we celebrate you.
This brings our convocation ceremony to a close. I would like to thank a number of people: our vocalist, Linda Millette, our drum group, Buffalo Boy Production, our elder, Roland Duquette, and the phenomenal members of the convocation planning team for their dedication to making these ceremonies a success. Finally, now to the graduates. You have studied diligently to earn your degree, diploma, or certificate, and I wish you continued success throughout your lives, both personally and professionally. Congratulations. It is my hope that thanks to your precious experience here, your education has prepared you to meet some important challenges: how to heal an injured child, how to create art that transforms people's perspectives, how to protect human rights, how to engineer shelter for humanity, how to write a poem that explains the feeling of loss or joy, how to deploy capital to produce and market innovation, how to ensure that agriculture production feeds the world, or in summary, how to design and work for a just society. Earning your parchment is a new road to opportunity and adventure. The education you received from this university has prepared you to meet these challenges. The world needs you. Follow your heart. Be ambitious. This will lead you to your true passion. That is our wish for each graduate of the University of Saskatchewan. Never, never forget this institution. Your degree is a coveted passport. May all your dreams come true. And as Dr. Seuss says, yay, you. In closing, I ask that you remain at your seats until the platform party has left the stage. Thank you.